We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at TUGaysPod and email us at TUGaysPod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
Very attacked right now because hi, I'm Paul
and I'm Joe
and we're These Unprecedented Gays.
Why do you feel attacked, Paul?
Because Andy's over here like, it's not Joe, and I was like, not so loud, Joe, and you were like, not so loud, Paul.
Oh, he's not okay.
For the first time, it's not you being the loud one.
I mean, there's definitely a I would say that me and Paul are like on par for volume.
Well,
generally
we get very excited. So
we do.
Our volume gets really loud. We love talking to our listeners and stuff, and so
and to you.
We like, we just get excited.
So this is TUGaysPod Road Trip Edition.
Yes, we're doing road trip recordings. It's kind of like carpool karaoke, but not really.
And also not with James Corden.
What's the taxi
No, that's
one?
Cash Cab.
Oh yeah, Cash Cab.
Oh yeah, like Cash Cab.
Okay, I love Cash Cab.
What's the porn one where they get a guy in the back and they...
Bait bus?
I've seen that. And I'm always like, this can't be real.
So
I love okay, but hold on, like Cash Cab used to be like I love that show.
You know, and I'm always like, whenever I go to New York, I'm like, oh my god, am I getting in the Cash Cab? I want to get in the Cash Cab.
And they revived it for like a little bit, I think.
I know, and I'm like, it always was kind of funky too, because you always had the lighting in there, and I thought it was like a disco kind of feel to it. So I was like, oh, I'm down for this.
And I just like never knew any of the answers, so I would not be able to go far. It's like, oh, you got it wrong.
Yeah.
What's his name? Ben Bailey?
I thought he was kind of cute though.
Oh, very cute.
Yeah.
And he came back on the reboot and he was like, oh, I'm older and more like refined and still sexy.
I'm better than this.
Well, he clearly did it because he needed to pay some bills.
No, you know, we all got bills.
So
That's
right, why are we in the car
valid.
today, guys?
So we are in the road trip recording because we just came from LA to do DragCon. Well, I didn't do it. I mean, we visited.
We actually presented. We were at the booth, yeah. We actually just love driving together.
And then we're in Laguna right now, heading home back to San Diego. So we're like, let's just talk about what happened in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
so
and we're friends in real life, so we hang out together.
There you go. So Joe, how did you like DragCon?
Well, you know, this was my first time, so you helped pop my DragCon cherry, and I think it was fun to see all the queens. I definitely think it was more pay to play, because you talked about it last year where it was like, hey, you have to pay to like see the queens, and I was like prepared for that, but I don't think I was prepared for it because like the merchandise wasn't as good as I was expecting, or it wasn't what I wanted, so it was cool to see all of the queens like in their element, and I think for me I didn't really need to pay to see them all, but it was still just kind of like we did see all of them, and then we were able to like take pictures with a couple, so I thought it was fun, sans a couple of overpriced queens.
I love this like road trip recording because now we're like, there's a Porsche with like a really bad muffler in front of us. We got like motorcycles going by.
It's real life, girl.
We haven't even gotten on the interstate yet, so we'll see what my car sounds like with the air through it and everything. I thought it was okay. I liked this year because they had more international queens, so there were more of the drag race queens from like UK, Down Under. Carmen Farala was there from Italy. Some of the España ones were there too, so it was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And the Philippines was there. They had quite a few of them. And this year also they did something different. Like a lot of them were doubled up or tripled up. Which was like kind of cool because then you get to see three queens for the price of one, really. Like we did Babs, which was Drag Race Down Under Season 2 with Spanky Jackson, Hannah Conda, and Queen Kong. And so I bought a bag for $15 and got to see all three of them. So I was
3
like,
for 1, yeah.
I know, we love like Joe says, we love a BOGO.
I know, but also in this economy, that's probably why they were doubled up.
Right.
Right? They were like, inflation, can't afford our own booth.
We're coming from down under.
Yeah.
So we ain't got that above money. We got that
Well,
down under money. Have you
so-
seen our workroom?
Do you think they were on a tour? Because, like, just coming to DragCon from other countries obviously is expensive.
Well, yeah, and you've got to ship all your merchandise too,
yeah.
and everything, and you've got to like pay people to either come with you to man your booth, or you pay them when you get here to man your booth.
Mm-hmm.
I know that some people are actually making it into like a trip, because when we talked to Ella Day, she was staying in LA until Monday, and then they were going to San Francisco.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, that's kind of fun, and that was actually kind of cool to talk to her and like actually.
I think I'm still blacked out a little bit from that.
Just Mary Crush.
I just was like, so for the listeners out there, Ella Day is an extremely attractive man and also like a pretty drag queen. And like, so I followed Ella Day on Instagram before she was on Drag Race UK. So like, I remember I was like, oh, look at this hot guy who's also a drag queen. Like, hello. So I was like really nervous in line, and I was sweating, and like my face was like shiny as hell. So the picture of me is terrible. But I was just like, hi, oh, how are you? Oh, okay. And then like I didn't know what to ask her, so I was like, how tall are you? And I'm like, clearly these are the like, you know, the hard hitting questions of journalism. I was like, I know how to ask questions. I'm a host on a podcast. But I was very nervous.
He was very nervous.
Starstruck.
Yes.
Starstruck, yeah. It was almost like when I met Just Jack in West Hollywood. I was also starstruck.
You
for
mean
him.
Sean Hayes?
Yeah, Just Jack, same thing. But so my favorite moment when we were in line for Ella Day is that she was next to Selena S. Titties, and then they had like workers or whatever, and so they came over to us and they were like, oh, here's like a picture of all of the merch, and we were like, what? And they were like, oh, this is not the line for Selena S. Titties, it's for Ella Day. It was like her staff or whatever,
Yeah.
like going into the line to be
She
like,
had,
hey,
like,
here's what to do.
She had 4 people working those lines, and she had a long line too. Like her VIP line was long, and her general admission line was long. I mean, not as long as Bianca Del Rio's, because hers was like
Besides
hours.
Queen, yeah.
But this is your ones, you're right after your season ended.
Yep.
This is your opportunity to get as much cash as possible.
Correct. And I mean, she was milking it, and like that girl is loud. Okay, like.
And that's coming from us.
And I was like, I told Ella Day, I'm like, so how you feeling about being next to Selena S. Titties? Because you're not a very loud queen. And she's like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, it's all good, girl. I should have been like, I should have just poked through the curtain and been like, Selena,
Photobomb.
Selena, shh.
Inside voice.
I know. Selena was very loud. I agree with you.
Oh, but no, I had a good time, but I was very upset, and we talked about this, is like, Heidi in Closet is there, who is on this season 8 of All Stars Drag Race, and she was in boy drag.
She wasn't even in boy drag. She was just dressed as like street clothes.
Right,
Like
and
she didn't even try. Like boy drag, there's like an element to it. Like when they're on the show, they're definitely like in some funky outfits.
I'm like, it was confessional look is what I said. Yeah, like I remember saying that to you guys the other day. I was like, she had her confessional look on her or something.
There was no drag about that person at all.
And I get it, like, you want to be comfortable, something probably happened or whatever, but you are at DragCon. People came to see you in your drag because that's what they love and that aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So to, like, not give that to them is a little bit, and still expect them to pay, like, $35 to $45 to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and, like, you didn't even have a tank top that said blessed and highly favored.
And that
like,
was my only stipulation.
Yeah,
Come on,
there you
Heidi
go.
Closet. You should know the fans.
Like, you needed one like that. You needed one that said soft and supple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something.
There were not, yeah, I feel like that was my biggest letdown, was like a lot of the merch I was hoping would have been cooler.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because maybe it's easier to like mass print those slogan things, but
Yeah.
it just kind of was like, meh.
And then, what was your highlight? Because tell the listeners what your highlight was.
Well, I mean,
Besides Ella Day.
Ella Day was like, yes, I'm still a little moist in my pants.
And real quick, Ella Day story. When Joe was done. I was right behind him. I come up to Ella Day, and I'm like, so did the guy in front of me ask you to finger his butthole?
Well, because when we were in line, I was like, okay, I'll ask her 2 things. I'll be like, first, can I have a picture? Second, can you do a shout out? And then I was like, oh, maybe 3 things. Third, will you marry me? And then Paul was like, oh, maybe 4, will you finger me? And I was like, I can't do that. And so then Paul went up and she said, what?
And she was like, well, it would have, but that's going to cost extra.
Oh. How much do you think that would have cost?
Maybe she was like, maybe I should put it in a back room next time. And I'm like, if that's the case, I want to cut because I came up with this idea.
Mm-hmm.
Paul's your wingman.
Yeah, exactly.
You are. So my real favorite moment of like surprise, shock, and awe was we were walking around and kind of getting like maybe towards the end, and then Vivacious, who is like. She's a character in and of herself. I don't know what season she's on. But
she was on season 6.
Was it 6?
No, yeah, because it was with Ganja Estranja also.
Oh, so Vivacious she's definitely unique. She's like a club queen, like a club kid queen from New York or whatever, and like she had Ornacia, which is the styrofoam head that she entered in with her workroom look. And I turned to Paul and I was like, do you think that they like would have like the picture op with Ornacia? And there was a girl that was doing it, and I was like, oh my god, like, do I have to do this? And Paul was like, yes. And I was like, okay. And so ironically, the most money I spent was for Vivacious to buy the Ornacia to have it shipped to me in 2 to 3 weeks. But it was just, oh my god, it was so funny because Vivacious was like, oh, we have Ornacia, and we have Pride Nacia, and we have Hallow-nacia, and then like Christmas Nacia, and I was like, oh my god. And then Paul was like, oh yeah, she's a marketing queen for sure. But Vivacious was like, all right, like, I'm gonna put the head on you, and then like she's like, drop down, chin up, hold the styrofoam, and I'm gonna strap you in. And it was very tight on your head.
Hello, Laguna Daddy, Dana Point Daddy.
Happy Mother's Day.
So no, side note for listeners, Laguna, like Orange County, has very attractive people.
we're driving through. We're just like, it is the middle of the day, and we're in Dana Point, and it is a warmer day. So the gentlemen are out without their shirts on, walking around, and I'm
the
loving
ladies
it.
too. Tits out, sun's out, right? So yeah, so that was my highlight. What was your highlight?
I think meeting Spanky, Queen Kong, and Anaconda, and of course we saw Pangina too. So those were like my.
And she remembered you, but not me, because I'm just a regular white guy. and you can tell because like Paul goes first, and Pangina's like, oh my god, hi, and she turns to me and she goes, hi.
Hey, you.
And I was like,
friend?
I represent all just the regular white boys. I get it. People confuse me as like, you know, Ron or like a Carl or like a Michael all the damn time.
Or a Joe.
I know. I really was just an average Joe at DragCon. Even though I had a cute shirt that said legalized drag, and you had an even cooler shirt.
I know. So I had a shirt on that said, smells like slut in here. First thing, we get into Pangina, we find Pangina Heels, we get into her line, and there's 2 guys, a couple, in the VIP line, and they have on almost the exact same shirt. It says, smells like slut in here, and I'm like, I need to get a picture because we all wore the same shirt.
But it was white and yours was blue.
Yeah. And of course every queen was like, oh my god, it does smell like slut in here, and I'd be like, yeah, I know, I farted, I'm sorry. No, I'm just blowing bubbles.
I did look up to see some fact check. It looks like Hiding Closet did dress up for the first day.
Oh.
But not the second. So I'm seeing the ribbon cutting with when RuPaul was there.
Maybe she had a rash.
So maybe this her Dungeons and Dragon look gave her a rash.
Or the yeast infection.
But I'm also like, there were some queens that were only there for one day, and I'm like, we were going on the Saturday because, you know, Friday there was other stuff that we had to do, and before we headed out to LA, so, you know, we decided to just do the one day, and it was like, but Shea Coulee was already gone.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of queens who weren't at their booth because they were either on the main stage or visiting other queens' booths.
Mm-hmm.
Some left, like I said, Shea Coulee left. I think Princess Poppy left early.
Yeah, I think that was one annoying part too, because like in order to like see all of the queens, you basically have to be there like all day.
Right.
And like the best part was when we were in line, Paul was like, so like, how long you want to stay? And I was like, girl, I'm thinking the same thing. I was like, noon? Good. Because it opened at 10. And I was like, I mean, we could like make our rounds and see. But
And we
like,
got there at like 9:20 and had
Yeah.
to stand in line for 40 minutes
our
waiting
feet
for
were
them to
killing
open.
us.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how people are there all day, like just waiting in lines, and like maybe it's just kind of like an art and wine festival where you like sit down and like rest. I don't know.
Well, and like Bianca and Got Mick, they both had line monitors.
Yep.
So like because there was a break and there was another part where the larger line was before you got to the booth line. So they were like, no, you have to go to this line over here and get in that line. It's like, oh, okay, wow.
You couldn't pay me to wait in that line.
Nope.
You could not pay me.
So we also went to the Getty Villa on Friday before DragCon. That
Some
was
culture.
fun. We got some culture. It was super nice. It's beautiful there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the weather was gorgeous. We also went out to Otium in LA for dinner, and Joe had chicken liver mousse for the first time.
And bone broth emulsion.
Bone marrow emotion.
Or bone marrow.
Yes. Which was delicious. That was
Slurp
like
it
one of the
up.
highlights for us. And then, of course, like their desserts were delicious too. So the whole meal was really good. I thought that was a great meal.
Wait, what did we have for desserts at Odeon? It was the...
We ordered all of them.
No. Oh,
No,
we
we
got
only
the
had two.
banana thing, and then you got the... Oh, yours was better because it was the...
Oh, I got the warm chocolate tart.
But with banana ice cream.
Yes.
And then I got the, like...
You got the chocolate panna cotta.
It was but it was called something else. It was something with an S. A Samoa?
And then-
No.
Yeah. It was a Samoa. Yeah.
It was like
based on the Girl Scout cookie
Yeah.
with like coconut, chocolate, and shortbread and stuff like that. Yeah. So that was really good. And then Nick and Andy went to do a tour.
We did not do DragCon.
We did not. Our day was great.
Oh, are you implying that ours wasn't?
No, I just
No.
for us it was perfect.
It was different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what was the tour? What was it like?
We got to see 4 venues that are all downtown, including like the Disney Performing Arts Center, with our lovely docent Jean, who had just broken 2 toes. Yeah, she basically like gave us her whole life story.
Racist Gene.
Yeah, a little bit of racism in Jean.
Touch of racism
But she
there.
was from Redondo Beach, so it's kind of to be expected.
Oh.
But yeah, we were able to kind of tour and go inside the theaters, and we got some pictures from you all along the way, which was fun because it was like the loud and chaotic scene that you guys were probably expecting, and then ours was like classical music scene. It was like 2 very different experiences, but both great.
This plaster bust was brought by a Nazi, escapee. Very educational, very NPR.
And then you guys
wasn't that loud.
I mean, I would think that the convention center is loud and just
No, it was
commotion.
It was
Kind of.
sensory overload. Is
Sure.
basically what it comes down to. 'cause
but
it
air
was, like,
conditioned, so it was
yeah.
nice.
So because it was like a lot of like stuff happening on different stages,
And there was
queens
a lot of
playing
music. Like they had like music at different booths, and it was like, okay, like you're playing Firework by Katy Perry next to Work Bitch by Britney next to like Leanne Rimes. So like, just you can't all do that.
I wonder how they get the rights to, like, if they have to buy the rights to play those at, like, this public
in public
thing,
places. Yeah. That's a good question.
Oh, I don't think they thought about that.
Yeah, I mean it's public, but yet still private.
I think as long as they don't do any like recordings, it's typically okay. But there's some kind of big license stuff there. But then we went to Perch for a drink because it was nice outside.
But you guys did the funicular.
Oh
yeah.
What's Angel's Landing? I don't know how to describe it, Andy.
So when you're up near the Disney concert hall, you're pretty high up on a hill, and down below the hill is where the center market, which is like a street market indoors.
That's
Similar
my
to
car,
Pike's,
everyone. Sorry.
similar to Pike's Place or in Seattle or Liberty Station in San Diego. So there's a great kind of open food stop. And so to get down there, there's a funicular, a little cable car, and there's one at the bottom of the hill and one at the top, and they run at the same time, and you pass each other in the middle. It was really cute, but it costs 50 cents each way.
So budget.
If you have
Make
the
sure you
Metro
budget.
card.
Yeah. You have the Metro card.
If not, then it's $1.
It's $1.
So budget accordingly for that.
Oh, that was another thing. Like, if you're going to DragCon, make sure to budget accordingly. Don't just go there thinking you're going to do and get whatever you want. Like, It's a lot. So
I did budget accordingly, and I was like, oh, if I get like $100, it's like 5 queens. And then I spent $60 on Ornacia.
See,
but
exactly.
worth it. Every penny was worth it.
But, oh, and I just thought of something else. Like, it was very interesting to see who was popular and then who kind of died out, because like Lady Camden was there, and last year when I went, her line was one of the longest ones to wait in, outside of Willow Pill.
Yeah.
And
not a lot of people on that line.
Not a lot of people on that line this year.
Yeah,
that was very interesting.
And Cheryl Hole too, right? I think.
And Cheryl Hole was pretty popular, but this year she wasn't as popular.
Mm-hmm. And Kitty Scott Claus too. Like there was no line for her.
And we still didn't get in line.
Oh, you guys didn't go see her?
No, we saw her.
I should have given you $20.
Well, and then like so when we were walking out, we saw Taste, and I was like, do I want to spend money? No, it's not worth it.
And I saw Princess Paula Nicole, and I'm like, that was one that I did want to see, but then I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah, we had been standing for 2.5 hours,
and I was hungry.
Yeah,
we checked out their food truck area, and I'm like, it was not good. And I'm like, I need some food. So anyway, so we went to Perch on Saturday, which is a rooftop in Los Angeles. So check it out if you ever get a chance. It's in a weird spot. It's a hotel. It looks kind of, it looks a little sketch, right? I would say
in Pershing Square, which is not the best neighborhood, but then you go up this financial building to the roof, and
and it's like it's really cool. Because it has such a great view of Los Angeles, and their cocktails are really good too. And then we had dinner at. Oh, and then Nick went out.
Oh yeah, I met
friend
my buddy Madison. That's at Akbar, and we watched the Eurovision finale. And I'll tell you what, I have never seen a gay bar so packed with like diehard fans. I thought we were watching some type of football game.
If it was a football game, it wouldn't be packed with gays
Eurovision, like, and everybody like booing and hissing when all the points were given out, and just like I was fascinated.
Did you see Mel that used to host Great British Baking Show? She was like a milker or something like that. She's churning butter, but very like sexually.
I think the best part was because the U.S. has kind of tapped into like the broader market of Eurovision, so it hasn't always been broadcast the same way, or if they did, it was kind of like wasn't necessarily got big on one of the main channels. Well, they had it on Peacock, and our lovely friend, what's his name, James Weir, the gay ice skating guy.
Yeah.
It was like a stream with James Weir, and it was him on a couch like reacting to the Eurovision stuff as you're watching it. So that was kind of, I'm like, way to make it gay, Peacock, way to make it gay. But it was a lot of fun, and always good to see Madison. And it's just crazy how when you're in LA, how like the place that I met up with him was like a couple miles away, and it still took 30 minutes to get to.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god,
traffic nonstop.
If you're going to LA, plan accordingly, because you're going to need to leave yourself a lot of time. Even just going to dinner, like it was 6 miles away from the hotel, but it was going to take us 30 to 35 minutes to get there. Yeah. Which is a restaurant called Animal, and that meal was also very delicious.
Nick almost didn't know where the restaurant was.
I couldn't find it.
There's no name on
sign. Yeah, there's no sign or anything, because it's in this funky, cool neighborhood that we were like way too old and not cool enough to be in.
I know, very true. But there were like shoe stores. It was very interesting.
Yeah, it's a great neighborhood, and they have Cantor's Deli there, which is like just this great place to get like sandwiches, but also their like little desserts and cookies and everything were so good. And then we didn't go out in Los Angeles while we were there, just because we were all very like tired each day.
Yeah. If you guys, and honestly, like if you guys would have went out, I would have not gone out with you. I've done WeHo, and like I would have supported you from afar, from the room, as I was bathing.
Well, and then also like Saturday night, because we went on Friday, Saturday, and then going back Sunday. In the hotel, somebody pulled the fire alarm on our floor.
Yeah.
or like one of the floors, but our floor was affected. And we were on the 17th floor. Nick and Joe were on the 23rd. They weren't affected. Must be nice to be able to just sleep all night.
Oh, it was great.
This was like 12:40 in the morning.
And it was like 12 o'clock midnight or so in the morning, and it's like it was on a frequency and so loud that like I started getting an upset stomach and thought I was going to throw up from that.
And it went on for at least 5 minutes.
Oh, it was like...
And it was long enough that you thought, okay, maybe this is serious. So we got dressed and we went out into the hall, and then there were people like walking the hall saying, "Oh, ignore this. Somebody pulled the alarm."
I know. Andy gets dressed and he's like, "All right, we're going now. We're going to evacuate, right?" I'm like, do we need to? And then we get out there, and he like starts walking towards the elevators, and I'm like, well, the fire door is closed, so we can't use the elevators because if there's a fire, the elevators shut off.
Oh,
and
I
he's working at a hotel, and like, so we're on the 17th floor, so we need to take the stairs.
Oh,
and then that's when the guy was like, oh no, we're fine. It's not, no evacuation needed. And somebody pulled the fire alarm. And I'm like, thank God, because I don't have the energy to walk down 17 flights of stairs
and walk back up.
Exactly.
If Andy got ready, he could have gone out. That's when people go out in LA.
I know, we could have just gone out to one of the bars and had a good time. Like Fiesta, like we could have gone to Fiesta Cantina and probably had a late night snack that somebody just left on the table.
I think they stopped serving after midnight.
Oh.
But there would have been leftovers from other people.
Exactly.
So we could have had food. Their dip is yummy.
And so we stayed at the Sheraton Grand Los Angeles, which was like downtown in the financial district. But it was cool because it was right next to the Block, which was like an outdoor shopping area. But one of the funny things that we all noticed was there was a Volvo store in the mall. And we're like, okay, we get Tesla because that usually is one that you'll see in a mall, but like Volvo? Who wants
and it only had one car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, where are you test driving this?
It's on a what is like wheels or like a roller or something.
Oh, but you should have. Did you try the Oleata? The Oleata at Starbucks.
No.
That was
so
one
this
of them.
morning, okay, when I woke up, as I do at like 6 a.m., I was like, oh, let me do like a mobile order ahead. And then I saw it on the menu, and I was going to get it for Nick, but I was like,
You didn't get it? What is it?
It's the olive oil coffee.
Oh.
Right? It's the one that the beans are like
I would have loved to have tried
marinated in like the olive oil, and then the coffee is made and stuff like that. So it has that flavor of olive oil. Like we saw it there, we're like, oh my God, they actually serve it at this one.
Did you get it?
No.
Because it's only released now in like the LA market and one other, maybe Seattle, but that's it.
No, Paul always has his
I always have my white chocolate
Frappuccino,
mocha, whole milk,
extra
light
syrup.
So, like what else?
Well, we did we talked about the Getty. That's when
when we went to the Grammy Museum,
we did,
Joe.
And so in the Getty, my takeaway from the Getty, I learned what a satyr was from Andy.
Oh, there was a lot of penises in that art.
But they were baby penis, like little tiny dicks.
Well, and there's a reason they drew that. Remember? Like,
because big dicks were not popular.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was like the little dicks.
Society has changed.
I know. But then at the Grammy Museum, there was like a Shakira exhibit, which is like whatever. But the coolest thing is they had this room where it was basically like how music kind of like evolved through time and how it was recorded on different mediums. And so it started on like what was it called? You crank it.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't the gramophone, but it was like another form of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like here's cassette, and then record, and then MP3, 5-in-1, and then there was like the last one. It was immersive, and I felt like when it did that, it was like you woke up and you're like, I'm experiencing sound now. It was really cool.
Well, and then we also did it to Born This Way, Lady Gaga from her Grammys performance.
Yes, not the
her
MTV performance. Very different.
They don't have rights to that at the Grammy Museum.
No. I was wondering, I was like, this is an interesting selection, but it makes sense.
But if you like music, it's a great museum to go to. Like, I've been there before, and I love the exhibits and stuff, so I thought that was great.
It's quick, too, yeah.
And it is a pretty quick one, and then there's a great place right next to there called Soul Fixings that was a great, like, soul food restaurant. Biscuits and gravy were good. They had a DJ there that took requests, so I was very happy about that. I get my 90s R&B fix.
Yeah, it was tasty. It was really good.
And yeah, then we went to, right before we left, Andy and I went back to the market. We got some Quince jam. You packed that, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I don't want to forget our jam.
Wait, what's a quince? What's a quince jam?
Quince is another type of fruit. It's not as popular, but
it's kind of in the apple family, but they're tart and small, little.
Yeah, and so it's delicious though.
Is
so
that
we're
what
gonna
our street's named off of in San Diego?
one of it.
Quince?
Yep. The tree. Well, the streets are named after tree names, but
Where the streets have no name.
I thought when I moved to San Diego, I was like, oh, quince. and then I was told quickly that's not it. No, it's quince. I was like, oh.
But you know they're alphabetical, right? The street names are in order.
PQ, because what's Q? Quince is R, Redwood. S.
Spruce.
Oh yeah. T is thorn.
Yep.
Yes.
What is U?
Upas.
Oh, you right.
I learned the hard way that not only San Diego County uses the Tree Street as addresses, so does Escondido. And when my sister-in-law came to visit for a quick trip, and I just gave her my address on Beach Street, I didn't include San Diego or the zip code.
Oh no.
So she shows up on Beach Street, and she's like, I'm here, I'm outside waiting for you. And I'm like, well, can you drop a pin, or can you, where are she? And I'm like, oh, Tina, you're in Escondido. You're about 25 minutes away from me.
But was she in beach as in B-E-A-C-H, or was it beach as in the way you were spelling it?
B-E-E-C-H. But there's a beach street also in Escondido because they also do the tree streets.
Yeah.
Just like San Diego.
Well, that's just like in Atlanta, they have Peach Street. Avenue,
there's
Peach
14
Drive.
Peachtree.
Peachtree Street, Peachtree Boulevard, and but it might even be I think there's 2 Peachtree streets, but you got to know which direction you're going in.
Oh my
and all
God,
this stuff.
north or south is very
yeah.
important.
Well, this was Paul and I's first date. Was having the address, and when he says I'm there, and he was 20 minutes away.
I was in downtown
and I was up in UTC.
Right, because I put in the name of the place, and it gave me someplace downtown, and so I went there, and I'm like, where are you? And I thought he was ghosting me.
Oh no. Wait, where were you supposed to meet up at?
There was a great Thai restaurant in UTC in the Renaissance Shopping Center. Oh gosh, I can't remember.
Something Star.
Royal. Star Anise.
Oh yeah, it's Star Anise.
And so he had never been, but I said, "Oh, you'll love this place. It's great." And I sit there and I'm waiting, and he finally texts, and he's like, "I'm down near Horton Plaza." I'm like, Horton Plaza? That's a good half hour away.
But he decided to give me another chance.
No, we met in Hillcrest because it was halfway between. So we had dinner at what's the name of the place that's closed now? The Fig Leaf.
Oh yeah, Fig Tree.
I miss that. They had really good surf and turf eggs Benedict.
I know.
It was really tasty. Yeah, it would be. It was
Their food was really
lobster and steak, I think. Maybe. Yeah, that's the surf and the turf. Yeah, it was really good.
And so we just left brunch in Laguna Beach at a rooftop bar at La Casa del Camino, which was really good.
Mm-hmm.
A little overcast today, though.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Oh yeah, I almost called it the maroon layer. The marine layer.
The maroon layer. Because it's red.
Our trip wasn't overcast though. The trip was a lot.
No, our trip was gorgeous. And
it was a nice weekend.
But we did do a lot of walking, I must say.
And a lot of stairs.
There were
a lot of stairs in LA.
A lot of hills.
And they were not alive with the sound of music.
And it's just it was a lot of walking, and I'm just by the end of Saturday, when we were going back from Perch, they're like, oh, we can just walk it from here, and I'm like, oh.
Well, and I did not bring the appropriate walking shoes, and this is I should know, if you're with Nick, which is all of the time, you're gonna get murdered from walking, because Nick likes to kill people he loves by making them walk.
I love walking.
So I need to find just better walking
These
shoes.
Allbirds shoes are great.
Okay. Allbirds, if you want to sponsor us, I'll take that.
And then there were protesters at the event
to free Palestine.
Well, no, that was at Perch, so we saw the protest for that.
Oh, at DragCon. Oh my God, because when we walked in, they were like anti-testers. I don't know what you want to call it. Like if it wasn't a protester, it's like an anti-tester.
they were
Contesters. There's a protester and a contester.
But they were like 4 drag queens, and then when we left, there were like the megaphone Jesus lovers, and like we're walking out, and I just waved at them and I was like, hello, as we were walking, because they were like, God made hell just for you to burn in, and I was like, oh my.
I'm like, that's why we're here. It's in LA. LA is kind of like hell.
It's all the traffic, I'm telling you. There's just, I don't know why. It's just, it takes forever to get anywhere in that town.
All right, so around the car, because we're, starting with Andy, what is your memory and takeaway from this trip up to?
So I actually had a really fun time last night. After dinner, we went to that kind of Instagrammable place where there's all the street lights.
Yeah, we call it Urban Lights.
Oh my gosh, that was super fun.
And it was an art installation.
And Nick was 2 wines into being drunk.
Girl had been drinking all day.
And it was funny because there was a little kid that was on the lawn, and they were like off the lawn, and then they like triggered an alarm, and then Nick went to hug the pole, and they were like, sir, get off the pole.
He went to climb on the pole.
Yeah, to climb on the art installment, and the security people were like, sir, step off, do not climb.
Get off the pole. And I'm like,
this is 2 out of 2 museums that I've been with Nick that he's been yelled at security.
And I'm like, don't tell him to get off the pole. He's like trying to make his way through college.
But there were
it was really fun, and we got some great pictures of everybody.
Oh, and if you get a chance heading towards Urban Lights, check out the Automotive Museum at night when it's lit up, because it is funky looking.
Was it
Peterson?
The Peterson Automotive Museum.
Peterson.
And that was gorgeous, but it was like very weird and funky, and it was just like, it took us a while to figure out what it was. So anyway,
across the street from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts Museum. What about you, Nick?
There was the thing that will be burned into my brain forever is the crazy eyes of the statues at the Gettys. They're like haunting, looking into your soul. But I also really enjoyed just walking around those museums, or not museums, the
theaters,
performance halls, and just all the culture and history and the work and the sweat and the money and the things that go into making the arts happen. It's fun to see. And I spent the day with Andy, which I haven't actually ever done like that before, so that was also really fun. And
we don't hate each other.
No. Yeah. Even if we walked a lot.
I know. I asked Andy, I was like, did Nick try to kill you?
Yeah, and he did
hurt his ankle.
I'm limping, but it wasn't his fault.
It was Gene's fault.
No, it wasn't. Any trip with Nick results in a foot or a thigh or a leg injury.
Not true, because we could have walked all the way down the hill to get to the market, but instead we took the vernacular, which was really fun.
We
were
nice.
We were like kids at Disneyland. We were so excited to be on that stupid cable car.
And it was only 50 cents.
And it only lasts for like 2 seconds, 2 minutes or less.
Is that like the one in Puerto Vallarta where it brings you up the hill?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Those are fun.
It was really a good time. Yeah. And it was a part of LA I had never seen.
I always love getting yelled at too. When I'm like the one that's usually never gets, I'm like, that's when I know. I'm like, I need some water and to go to bed.
Yeah, I was like, it's bedtime. Let's continue into the sheets. Yeah. I think my obvious, other than DragCon and blacking out to meet Ella Bidet, I think my highlight was Vivacious, because it was so unexpected, and I wasn't planning on seeing her. And getting Ornacia, to be determined, because she's not yet shipped. It was like, the funny part of that, she was like, it'll ship between 2 to 3 weeks. It'll be with you between 2 to 3 weeks, but not 3 weeks. And I'm like, okay. So is there going to be tracking information? And then also just kind of walking around with Paul, and also understanding that me and Paul think very similarly about, we don't want to be here all day, and we need to eat, and let's get a lift to the perch. And, those were mine.
Mine were, I actually, it's the dinners.
Yeah.
Because is that guy peeing on the side of the road? He pulled over so he could pee on the side of the road.
Hey, when nature calls, you gotta answer.
At least it was below, like...
Right, at least so you couldn't really see.
There was no Wang Chung.
Yeah. Let's go back and be like, sir. Okay,
Everybody Wang
all right.
Chung tonight.
So, but it was like getting to introduce you guys to two restaurants that we love up there, and like seeing you really enjoy it, and like the food was fantastic and stuff. That was like a highlight for me because like food is I love food and it's a big thing for me. So it's like to share that and you guys actually enjoy it was a huge thing. And I mean, like DragCon was good, but it's also like, okay, I really wanted to go and I'm glad I did. Yeah.
Well, I have a question. Do you know what time it is? It's time for...
Producer questions.
No.
Oh, we forgot to do mouth to mouth. It's
Oh
time
my
for
God.
mouth to mouth.
Mouth to mouth resuscitation.
Oh my God. We're in a car. I have so many things I'm like trying to focus
Yeah,
You are
on.
multitasking.
Paul is not only driving us, he's also like navigating traffic, looking at the navigation machine, navigation, whatever I want to call it. I'm looking at the navigation machine.
Let's be real. The car would drive itself, but he refuses to relinquish control.
And I'm with you on that. I don't trust that. No technology. So wait, what's our obsession?
So yeah, what are we
What's giving you life?
Well, actually, no. I found this yesterday when I was when Nick was out with Madison, and I was like, I'm just gonna relax and not do anything. And it was Cosmopolitan does this thing on YouTube where you, not you, but like they have guests to like guess whether something is like cheap or expensive. And the first one I watched was with Jinx Monsoon, and it was like guess which is the expensive like lotion or like the cologne or the handbag or whatever. And then they had Bob the Drag Queen and Sasha Velour and then Tiffany Haddish, and I was just like, these are hilarious. So if you want something funny to watch those. It's I think Cosmopolitan. It's like a magazine.
On YouTube.
They did it, yeah, on YouTube. So those were really funny.
Was giving me life were those carrots we had last night at Animal, because like there were these carrots that were like with Vadavon spices, and it had a labna with apricot puree and just all this
blood
stuff.
orange,
Like,
dried or dehydrated blood oranges
yeah.
that tasted like raisins.
and we thought they were beets, tasted like raisins, but they were blood orange. So
It was a journey.
It was, but it had like this. We all thought it had like a very warm, almost like holiday.
It was Christmas, yeah.
Like feel to it, and it was just like from carrots. And I was like, this is why I love food, because it like evokes all these emotions and memories and things like that. So that's what's giving me life. What about you, Nick?
I think what's giving me life is those photos of Joe with Ella Vidae.
No, it's the
No,
one with
the-
Ornacia.
And the one with
I'm gonna
Ornacia.
post
No,
all these.
both of them.
Yeah.
We'll
The
see.
Ella Vidae picture will never see the light of day, ever. That is I think
a
you
secret
can
we'll hold for the
yeah,
rest
you
of
can
our
hide
lives.
it. If you've ever, it looks like I have oil on my face. Like
It looks like Exxon Valdez on
Yeah.
his face.
Like-
Bukkake all over his face.
and then make it wetter.
Yeah, those photos that we got throughout the day from you two was what gave me life throughout the weekend.
And what about you, Andy?
Well, we never get to answer this question,
I know.
but it's fun to think about. The Kids Great British Baking Show, the new season came out on Netflix, and we've been watching the little kids really screw things up.
And I'm like,
Do they cry?
No,
They
well, they do. They
cry,
cry when they
yeah.
get sent home.
That's my
It's so
favorite
sad.
Oh my god.
But they have to make. I mean, and you know,
It's TV. Yeah.
they do. These kids are actually really good at baking, but they're also really sloppy, and so.
I mean,
but
they're
some of them are
12.
like 7 to 9, I think,
Oh.
are the young ones, and then some are as high as like 14, 15.
Okay.
But they're really very talented, and like Paul Hollywood's a guest judge because one of the judges is
because
ill.
Liam is sick.
And you know, like they're all intimidated by this guy who they've seen on TV for
Mm-hmm.
years.
And he is softballing them. I'm like, you need to Like,
Paul's like, you should.
They are children.
okay, and
They're gonna learn. They gotta learn.
They gotta learn today.
That's what Paul's saying.
Throw them onto the deep end.
Especially in that industry.
So I have a question, but we still have some drive to go here as we enter into Oceanside. What did you think of the new season of Drag Race?
See, I don't like the editing of it because it's like, I didn't like this whole, when they were doing I like the 2 fashion shows. I always love the fashion shows because I feel like these girls spend so much on their outfits that they should be able to show as much as they can. But like, I didn't like the tri-tip, triptych,
Camera.
tri-tip, like
the split screens.
Or like the 3 pictures of like them, and I'm like, that doesn't really show off their outfits or anything.
Well, they didn't give any camera time. Everything was like 5 seconds or less.
Right.
You didn't see a look long enough to really appreciate it.
Right. And it's like, okay, so I and then this whole like new convoluted
The twist.
Yeah, the twist.
Girl. That took 30 minutes for RuPaul to explain.
So twisty. I'm like, okay.
It was like, if you're eliminated, your time is not up because you'll have to post on Instagram your looks, and then after posting every week, the fans will vote, but the fans have to vote after each week for the next week, and then at the end, you may have an option to win $50,000. And you're like, so what is it? It's like, okay, so like now they're like just posting their looks on social media, and like whoever gets the most votes wins.
Well, and also I'm like, let's just, again, this is like across the board on all reality shows. Just stop with the fake shock and awe and stuff. Like
your prize is $200,000.
No, that much? What? Oh, it's like, you already know this.
Yeah.
It was in your contract, bitch.
Like, girl, come on. But it was very upset that Monica Beverly Hills left and got voted off the first. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert! If you haven't watched it yet,
it's been a couple of days.
It's been a hot minute. So
spoiler alerts are only for same game.
There you go. So yeah.
Did you think that the guest judge was the lip sync assassin was a good choice?
So Aja is a great choice for it, and I said this when she came out and then the song was introduced. I was like, I told Joe, I'm like, they put that in Aja's favor. So when they picked Freakum Dress, because I don't know if they thought that Kahana Montrese was going to win or if somebody else was going to win that challenge. Who, out of all of them, the only other person I think would be able to lip sync against Aja to that song would probably be Heidi in Closet, and maybe Jessica Wilde. But like everybody else, I felt like that would put them at a disadvantage. And Freakum Dress, I love that song, but like it's not a great lip sync song unless you're like by yourself and you already have a routine planned out. And then the editing on that was weird because Aja had a wig reveal, but it like flew off and none of us got to see it really. And then Kahana did her like reveal with her dress, but I'm like, it would have been better if you had a dress on underneath.
Because that's just like a bodysuit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the song is called Freakum Dress. Like, you should probably have a dress on, and that would be even crazier, you know? Like, that would have been a reveal instead of another bodysuit.
Yeah, they missed some options and opportunities there for sure.
So we still haven't watched the second episode, and Pangina is supposed to be the assassin on that one. So I'm very excited about that.
Your good personal friend, Pangina.
I know, yes, we're close.
Shout out, Pangina.
Yeah, she doesn't know me, but it's fine.
We didn't ask her to do the shout out because we were like in Eleva Day's line and we're like, we forgot to ask Pangina, but I'm like, well, she's already done the shout out, so we're good.
We could just repurpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we have to like? I mean, we could use them, right? Like since
they did it intending to let us.
Yeah, like that's why we asked if we could do a shout out, and they know that we're going to use it as a way. That's why they were like, Queen Kong's like, we listen to these unprecedented gays all the time, and I'm like,
but that's not what she said. because she said we listen to these.
Oh yeah, they butchered it, and I was like, "This is great."
I love it. I just,
but they're good. Those queens are good. Like you can tell they're professional. Like Vivacious did a good job. Elva Day did a good job, and I was like,
well,
yeah.
They always think it's a mouthful to say these unprecedented gays. So we were telling them also, like, you could just say TUGaysPod if you want. And Vivacious was like,
what
which
is it,
one
Mother?
Is that?
Mother, what is the name of the podcast?
That sounded so good.
Tell me what it is, Mother. What is the podcast name? Is it TUGaysPod or is these unprecedented gays? What Nisha would say.
Oh my god.
That's how she talks.
And that was exactly what she, like, almost verbatim said that. She was just like, you know,
yeah,
tell me
she's like, what is the name? Okay.
She was like, she'll go get mad at us.
Getting yelled at by a drag queen. It's the best thing ever.
And you're getting fingered by one too.
I know you could.
I don't know if I would have liked that. Maybe like a makeout.
Or just a little light frottage.
What's a frottage?
You put the pieces.
It's the rubbing.
Oh.
The
Is that
rubbing
what they
of
call
parts.
that?
Frottage.
Frottage.
Is it French?
What if she did it while she whispered in your ear?
Microwave.
She doesn't have to. Well, she doesn't have to whisper anything in my ear. It was so funny because she's like, "Oh, do you work out?" And I was like, "What?" And then she's like, "You look like you work out." And I was like, "Are you complimenting me?" I was like, "You're beautiful. I love you."
She did not ask me that.
Didn't she say you should work out?
Ew, she's mean. She
No,
said that.
and then I was like, "Take your like, how tall are you?" And then I was like, "Oh, like, are you sweating?" It was very.
She took her shoe off, and I was like, "Oh, like half of your size went away." Like, Jesus.
Yeah, and then I will say though, like the attendant, or I don't even know what they called it, like the front desk person at her stand. I don't know. What do you call them? Like
Her
a greeter?
assistant, probably, or like.
Yeah, the greeter lady drag queen was really fun to talk to too, because she was like, "I'm from New York, but now I live in LA," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "No, that's super fun."
Well, not only that, but like that was the first one where we found out that we had to have cash because they weren't doing anything except cash.
Really?
And some of them did cash or PayPal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I have a PayPal, but I don't remember what it is. So.
Well, and I think that foreign queens, like, I don't know, maybe they can't use Venmo or anything like that.
Maybe.
Or like Square doesn't work on their bank accounts.
Oh,
I
maybe.
don't know.
Or maybe they don't have an account because they don't have a U.S. bank.
Or they
That
don't
makes
want to.
sense.
They don't want to claim the profits, so they're just avoiding taxes.
Oh.
Smart move, Ella. Smart move.
She'll have to pay taxes in her own country.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
How?
You know, those
Taxes are
Australian dollars are
traceable.
way
cash,
less
yeah.
than American dollars.
I
so.
know. The down under dollar.
Well, Elva Day is from, the UK.
UK.
No, I thought she was originally from.
No, she was in the UK.
Oh,
So
no,
we
I know
are
she
the-
was in the UK episode, but I thought her country of origin was.
Oh,
Australia.
no, I don't think so.
I think she's from.
Joe should know. He
I don't
stalks
know.
her.
I don't know that information.
Look back in your ancient Instagram history.
I'll
of her.
DM her. Thank you for entertaining my shiny face. I love you.
He'll be. Do you remember me, the tall one? that worked out.
That works.
Right? She'll be like, no,
Oh, my God.
I do not.
I really enjoyed traveling with you guys, though. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and you never know how it's going to be traveling with people and stuff like that, but I felt like it was a lot of fun, and thank you for letting me take the reins on the food situation.
Oh,
It makes it so much
Yeah,
less
if I
stressful.
like when you don't have to decide things. That's why I do sometimes feel like I would do well in a communist society.
I want to get tickets to that.
Little
There's
Big
a
Town?
sign that says Little Big Town, July 7th at Palak Casino.
What is
and
Little
I
Big
wanted to
Town?
see them. They're a country group, and they have the most amazing harmonies. Like, their voices blend so well.
I've never
Sorry.
heard of them.
They had a song that
I'll go
was
with
really
you.
big.
Like, a lot of them, yeah. But, like, their biggest one was, like, Better Man, because
Didn't they
Taylor
do
Swift
Broken
co-wrote it.
Road? They did a version of Broken Road too.
Yeah, and they also have a version of Life in a Small Town with
Oh.
Sugarland, so which is also amazing.
What is the little big town that they're coming from? I mean,
Memphis.
Right?
I can't with you.
no, I mean, why? If they're called Little Big Town, why?
I think just because that's a saying. It's a little
Oh.
big town.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't listen to country music. I don't know those things.
Oh, see, girl, you gotta listen to country.
Okay, y'all.
Okay. So, anything else, guys?
what's our producer question?
Oh, what is it? Oh, what's the producer question? Producer question.
You know, the format just falls to shit when we're
I
in
know
the
we're in the car.
I kind of like it. It's like, ooh, it's chaotic.
We can't.
We're in our chaotic era.
We can't throw notes on the screen for
Yeah,
them.
I know. We are not able to fact check.
No one can fact check.
We have no idea anything.
We don't even know what the name of this, the title of this episode is going to be.
I wrote down some ideas.
Oh.
So I was been taking some notes.
Nick is
here.
always working.
Okay.
When are you gonna
I
have
was been
vacation?
taking some notes.
I was been.
I think that champagne's still hitting me from the weekend.
You were very young.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
He
yesterday.
was not. He was in a very happy place.
Well, the best part when we left,
and the sun doesn't.
No, the best part we were like, because Paul was like, "All right, we're getting close. We have to find parking." Except Nick, don't look. Everyone except Nick look for spots. And I was like, "Yes."
Oh, it's the best version of myself.
So, what's the producer question, producers?
Did I already ask this? What is the favorite thing to do on your day off?
No.
What is your favorite thing to do on your day off? I'm gonna mark it.
Joe.
Absolutely nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to do anything. Just like sit at home and relax.
Okay.
Not like I don't know, like I don't want to like if I'm not working or anything. It's just like a free day. I like just relax. Like I would say maybe like go and get coffee to like treat myself from like a nice like cup of Joe, and then also get some donuts from what is that donut store?
Golden Donut.
Golden Donut.
Maybe get your nails did.
And no, and then just shower eventually and just watch like TV all day.
Okay.
Mine is I like to read my comic books. I like to play with my dog. I like to do my laundry, and I will definitely always take a nap.
Laundry?
So-
You like to do laundry?
I mean, I don't like to do it, but I'll do it because I have to.
Yeah, okay.
So, and it usually happens on the weekends because I do a lot of outfit changes during the week. So
I know.
So I have one more producer question, and it's because today's Mother's Day.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's
tell me one of your favorite memories of your mom.
Okay, Joe has one already, so he can go while I think about it.
My mom, oh god, my mom is like extremely intelligent, and like you meet her, she's poised. I have two favorite memories. She's poised, she's fashionable, she is like professional. But like two of my favorite memories. One of my favorite memories is that one of her favorite movies is White Chicks. And if you watch this movie, you know it's like crass, it's got farts, it's like not at all like a prim and proper movie whatsoever. So I love that about my mom. And then my second favorite moment is when I think it was like I was getting ready for like a SATs or something. So it was maybe 16, 17. And we were going to Pennsylvania for Christmas to visit her side of the family. And I was like struggling with like the essay. There's like the book or whatever that you can take like practice tests. And she goes, "You know, Joe, when something's hard, it's difficult to do," to try and like motivate me. And I was like, okay.
And then you were like,
I was like,
yeah,
that's,
it is.
that's kind of like the definition of difficult, Mom. But like, thanks for trying to motivate me. So like, every now and again, I'll be like, Mom, when something's difficult, it's hard to do. I'll like switch it up. So those are my two fun memories of my mom. She's a hoot. I love her.
For me, oh god,
Oh, I have a third.
oh, go ahead, Joe.
Okay, and then also I will never ever not think of my mom when hearing Proud Mary from Tina Turner, because I remember my cousin Courtney was visiting from Pennsylvania, and I think I was in like 8th grade, and we were sitting in the like, it was like a SUV, like a Ford Expedition, I think, and the song comes on, and it's like, rolling, and then there's like the saxophone sounds that kind of sound like a fart, and she like lifted up her leg to pretend to fart, and then she does like the rolling like hands, and it's just like, I'll always
That's
think
where
of
you
her.
get that from.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, not from her, but those are, yeah. She's great. I love my mom. I'm a mom's boy for sure. Okay, Paul, go ahead.
It's not like one individual thing, but it's like a thing that my mom does, and it's me and my sisters. Sorry, rest in peace, Bing. That used to make fun of her about all the time was like, if we said a bad word, she'd be like, "Come here, I need to tell you a secret." and then you lean in and she smacks you.
Oh.
So, now that we're older, my mom thinks she can still do that. I'm like,
No, she does not.
Yes. She's like, here, I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm like, you ain't hitting me, lady. I'm like, or if she says something bad word, I'm like, Mom, I gotta tell you a secret.
So one of my favorite memories of your mom is they were coming to visit us in San Diego, and we took them to the Hotel del Coronado because it was Christmas time. We were going to look at the lights, and her outfit was a velour milk chocolate tracksuit.
Was it Juicy Couture?
I said no.
It was Juicy Couture.
She looked like a giant Hershey's Kiss.
Yeah, I was like, why do you look like a Tootsie Roll?
Let me see that Tootsie Roll.
Oh, that's
But it's
funny.
actually a really enduring memory of her.
What about you, Nick?
I have two quick ones. One's like kind of the same thing. My mom is one of those people that just has no... Is the word guile, or just like she'll talk to anybody, she'll talk to strangers. Anytime I'm on a trip with my mom or visiting, she will be the one that is like making friends on the subway with the people that maybe didn't even want her to talk to her, but somehow she charms them in the way that you think that maybe she's in danger, but really she's been like making friends on the train. So there's that one. But my other really fun memory is we were hiking in Torrey Pines, and she went in to use the one of the porta potties, and she comes out and she's like, that was just the best porta potty ever. There was this little place to put my purse while I sat down to go to the bathroom. And I was like, Mom, what are you talking about? I opened the thing, I'm like, Mom, that is the urinal. She was like, oh, well, I probably have to get rid of this purse now. So that memory, that's one of my favorite memories.
Awesome.
Of my mother.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, Andy, do you have one of your mom?
I do have a memory, and it's not a memory that I personally lived. It's a memory I heard about after the fact. But my older brother was an out gay man since like right out of high school.
Before it was cool. and when he was about, I think it was around 21 or 22, found out he was HIV positive, and of course at that time it was a death sentence.
Yeah.
And you were pretty much writing off the rest of your life. And I didn't know this until many years later when he shared it. But my mom, when he told my mom, she was like so supportive, and she took him to the first appointment with a doctor, and the doctor literally was like writing him off, saying, well, you might want to just get your affairs in order. And my mom, who was a nurse, she stood up and she was like, you will not dismiss him. He is living. He is going to get through this. And it was the most inspirational thing, I think, for my brother to get that much acceptance at a time when he thought no one would be behind him. And I've had another friend who dealt with finding out they were HIV positive in that time frame, and the blow to your life when you think it's over, and it wasn't. He continued to live for many years after that, but my mom, that just she was a very strong-willed person, hard person sometimes to be around, kind of like me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But
What do you mean, Andy's a blessing?
But she loves hard, and she loved well. So.
Aww. Well, awesome.
I love that.
So we're gonna do another road trip soon for the Disney thing. We might have to do another episode.
I know.
On the road.
Do another road trip recording. But until then, everybody have a great week. Thanks.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at TUGaysPod on Instagram and visit us online at TUGaysPod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.